What if Stu lived? How? Judy? Vince? This is my theory about Scream and possibly Scream 7, someone told me to put more thought into it. So this is my thoughts on how to make it make sense with the people that are currently casted. During or right before the events of Scream 1. Judy Hicks was a lost boy in the Woodsboro High Theatre production of Peter Pan, where I'm gonna say she lost the role of Tiger Lily to Sydney. Judy grew some resentment towards Sydney after that. During the events of Scream 1. Now let's say Mickey really was a part of the original plan for Sydney, like a bystander, and that he was friends with Stu and Billy or just plain up inspired by them. So let's say a young Judy Hicks being stupid and in such a crazed kinda love with Stu. Let's say Stu promising Judy that they will be together after he kills Tatum. Billy and Stu's plan of killing Sydney, becoming the survivors, and framing Sydney's father for all the killings. Now taking place at the ending of Scream 1. Judy stands outside the house, sees everything happening with Stu and Billy. As Stu gets crushed by a TV because of Sydney. Judy sees Stu's almost lifeless body under the TV and grabs Mickey and tells him the plan took a turn and now the police were coming and that wasn't looking good for Billy in the other room with Sydney. Mickey and Judy at the last moment tries to get Stu out. Let's get a little crazier and say Judy and Mickey takes one of the other victims that we didn't see killed on screen by Billy, puts them where Stu was and drop the TV on them, switching Stu's wallet. Sydney after all knows who is under the TV, she's the reason it happened, so why think bodies were moved? Sydney tells police yes, Stu is under the TV, he's one of the killers. So let's say that's why they felt no need to identify the body yet. Mickey and Judy now meeting up with Leslie, Stu's sister, with Stu in hand. Judy pleading with Leslie to help them. Leslie ends up going to the morgue to ID the body and says yes, it's Stu. From Scream 1 to Scream 2. Judy and Leslie is trying to keep Stu being alive a secret, stashing him in this little cabin/house. They come up with the possibility of Judy becoming a police officer to keep up to date with what's going on with Sydney and keep everyone off the trace of Stu. Now Scream 2. Mickey watching everything that's been happening now, inspired by what he saw Billy and Stu do, and helping Judy and Leslie hide Stu, as well as seeing the movies that was made, Stab. Now wanting to be caught and put on trial for his crimes, and wants to use the motive of having been inspired by the movies and become a legend, now teams up with Nancy Loomis, who he found through a website for killers. He bringing Mrs. Loomis to a disfigured Stu and him telling her what actually happened to her son Billy, but Stu's version, which sends her after Sydney in fit of rage with Mickey by her side. All while Judy and Leslie still aid Stu to recovery and keeping him hidden. Right before Scream 3. Judy, now being a police officer, finds out the information of Sydney having a half-brother, Roman Bridger, Scott Foley. She then contacts Roman and Roman accepting the conversation due to him knowing Stu through conversations with Billy. Roman being the one that talked Billy into killing Maureen. Judy helps Roman locate Sydney. Then the beginning of Scream 3. We see Stu finds out where Cotton Weary, the person he tried to frame for Maureen's murder, now living a fabulous life off of what happened. Stu dressed as Ghostface kills Cotton and his girlfriend, knowing he's gonna be framing Roman, since Roman is gonna be dressed as Ghostface and go after Sydney. Stu goes back into hiding. Scream 4. Judy Hicks now becoming the deputy and caring for not only Stu in hiding but also a 7-year-old Wes, Judy and Stu's son, who she keeps at home and also later explains that his dad was in a bad accident. Judy in having succeeded in keeping Stu a secret and hidden from everyone. Let's not forget that awkward creepy interaction Judy had with Sydney, bringing up Tiger Lily still and Sydney not remembering her, still feeling like the lost boy she had portrayed back in theater. Judy still filling Stu in with what's been happening with Sydney and how someone else is trying to kill her. With it turning out to be Jill Roberts, her own cousin, who wanted the fame Sydney had, and someone named Charlie Walker. Scream 5. Now with Judy becoming a sheriff and being able to do more for her family and keeping her family safe, trying to live a somewhat normal life. Heard about a Ghostface attack on Vince, Leslie's son, Stu's nephew. She tells Stu. Stu in complete rage tries to tell Leslie as Leslie breaks down, a darkness overcomes her. Stu tries to make a plan to finish this, with the help of her and Judy. Just to have crazed Ghostface fans Richie and Amber killing not only Wes but Judy back at the house, all in attempts to copy previous Ghostface killers. Let's say during all the time of Scream 6. Stu is losing his mind with seeing people that are not there, including Billy, Judy, and Wes, and Vince. Leslie being more and more unable to take care of Stu. With having all the emotions of losing their families and not mentally okay. Not having no one to keep Stu hidden the way Judy did and filling him in on what's going on. They now have to turn to the news. Seeing what transpired during the end of the events of Scream 6 finds out a father and his 2 children, Wayne Bailey, Quinn Bailey, and Ethan Landry, dressed as Ghostface and started killing people going after Sam and Tara in New York City. Stu now gets into a fit of rage, because those people dressed as Ghostface are the family of Richie, the person dressed as Ghostface who killed Judy and Wes with the help of Amber. He tells Leslie. Scream 7. So Stu having hallucinations and still seeing people who are not there, Wes, Judy, Billy, Vince, Roman and possibly even Maureen. Stu is back for revenge with his sister Leslie, because not only did Sydney destroyed their life and disfigured Stu, but also is the reason of him staying in hiding and Leslie losing her son. Due to Sydney, these copycat killers, Richie and Amber, that were inspired by Ghostface, went after Sydney and in turn got Judy and Wes and Vince killed. So if Sydney would have just died, Stu would have been able to come out of hiding with his family. Leslie would still have her son. They could have had a better life. Now we could say Stu and Leslie wanted to first go after Sam and Tara because they were the direct reason Judy, Vince, and Wes died. Stu kills them with the help of Leslie and then goes after Sydney, Mark, the kids, Gail, Chad, and Mindy.